Welcome back, everyone. Oh, I am here at PAX East. It's awesome. I'm Golden Boy, joined by the ever beautiful Clayster. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right, man. How about yourself?
I'm gonna judge you. I'm gonna judge you and Nade all weekend long.
I mean, I'm trying to live up to this man right here.
No, you're too kind. You're too kind. Well, I mean, if you're rocking rainbow shirts, you're doing it wrong. If you're not rocking it. Of course, guys, we're here at PAX East 2014. Got some great games going on. Domination on Freight is going to be coming up next. Team Revan and Puckett versus Team Placer and Nade Shot, the All-Star game. Now, our great producer in the back, Will, asked me, who am I going for? And I said, you know what? Because Clayster's right next to me, I'm going to go with Clayster and Nade Shot. Honestly,
good call. That's a good move.
Like, let me see here. So, who do you have playing right now? Who's in your team? I'm
Well,
trying to get a.
on the one side, on Revan and Puckett's team, they have Theory, Proofy, Sensor, and I think it's JCap is the last one on their team.
I think it's Aches, Saints, Miracles, and JCap. That's the Nadester squad there. So that's actually pretty
I guess our little sheet's wrong then. So,
yeah.
Anyways, we got Aches, Saints, Mirror, and JCap. And there's a lot of good Slayers on this team. I mean, look at him. You got Aches, one of the best Slayers in the game. Saints, he can get 2-3 pieces all day. You got Miracles. He's been kind of quiet lately with all the roster changes going on.
Right.
But, he's still really high up there in the top 5 Slayers, I would say. And then you got one of the best ARs in the game in JCap. I would say he's in top 3. The slang power on this squad right here is enormous.
Yeah.
I'm going to be surprised if they get outslayed at all.
This guy. Oh, so I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that. Don't judge me, Chris. Okay. And then on the other side, actually taking a look at the Revit. I can't believe they call it Revit. That's hilarious.
it's quite
Theory,
funny.
Proofy, Sensor, and Study. I actually really like this squad. I'm a big fan of Theory and Study.
Having Theory and Sensor on the same team or on the same squad just for this map, it's kind of like they're both objective-minded players.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see if they can compete in the slaying department of mine and Nade Shot's team. I feel like Revan and Puckett really didn't think it out.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they didn't. I'm sure they didn't. But Puckett, he's going to have a lot of confidence in his team. He's going to be cheering either that or yelling at them. I've played Halo 1 with Puckett, and he's yelled at me quite a bit in the past whenever I do something wrong. So I'm expecting Puckett.
So he went from Caster Puckett to Coach Puckett?
Yeah, and he's gonna be a very vocal and aggravated individual.
Sounds like I need to get behind my squad and hype him up.
Yeah, that's right. See, and right now Puckett actually talking to one of the best coaches in the game, Mr. X. Of course, Matt Morello.
I would say the best coach in the game.
Yeah,
I'd
I
give
love
it to him.
He's
I'd
like,
give it to him.
this is my Mr. X impression. He's like, bruh, what's up, bruh? My name's Matt Morello, Mr. X. What's
Matt
up, bruh?
Morello, bro.
I just did that on stream. Salty are you? But yeah, it should be pretty good. So
I feel like we're going to have an entertaining game here. It's Domination on Freight, right?
That's right.
And so let's talk a little bit about Domination on Freight. The breakoffs are normally the same. You're trying to get control. On either side, if you're spawning C, you want to get control of red. You want to be spawning at red over and over, and that's the building on the far left. Because if you get pushed to the right side of the map in that alleyway with the gate, you can get trapped in there really easily because there's only one way to come out, and the opponents know you're there. So you have to have red control on that C side. You always need to be pushing through red. And then you switch that, and you go to the other side, and you want red control on that next side because you can spawn them in that gate alley. And it depends on the play style of the team, but that's at least how we do it over at Optic Gaming. It's like always have red on both sides so you can get that favorable spawn because you can spawn on your opponent's side near their home flag and get them right off B. And we look at right here, that's the B flag, that's the A1, and then we got C on the other side. And most people didn't know on B flag, you can actually get on the very top of the train on the boxes and still cap it. Not only the metal parts on the boxes on top.
Really?
Of it. Yeah, people are just figuring that out. It's like,
well, I see people, but do you have to think that maybe it's a time thing, right? Like you don't want to expose yourself way too much.
It does,
on
but
top.
You're seeing more and more smoke grenades used on this map. Everybody's starting to use smoke and incog on this map, and it's really important because as an AR player, if they smoke it, I know to shoot here and here and here and here. But then it's like there's that extra level that some people are just finding out that it's like, oh wait, now I have 2 extra spots to shoot at. Because the smokes on the Xbox One are crazy.
Oh it's like it's just a dark cloud that you actually would never have seen. You're not seeing anyone.
On the 360, you can kind of see through it a little bit. It's like opaque, and that might have something to do with the rendering on the one, but on the one, it's like you're in the smoke and you can't see your hand in front of you. It's crazy. So, smoke grenades are really powerful on the one, and I'm really excited to see what Sensor and Theory are going to do with that objective work. Hopefully they bring out some smoke grenades.
Should be
see
interesting
that.
stuff. We're waiting for the game to start up here in just a little bit. Players are warming up right now in a free-for-all lobby, and we're waiting on one of the guys to start it up so we can get things going. But I guess, how is this your first PAX?
No, we went to PAX last year.
That's right. Well, you went to PAX Prime.
PAX Prime. This is my first PAX East.
PAX East. Ah, okay, okay. So how do you like it? So far?
I'm a big fan. Is this one bigger than Prime?
Prime is actually the biggest.
Prime
is
that's
big,
what I thought.
right?
Yeah,
But PAX
that's
East
the main
is
one,
becoming
right?
big. Yeah, PAX East is becoming very.
It just
big.
started a couple years ago, right? PAX
Exactly,
East,
yeah.
whereas Prime has been there since what? 10
Exactly.
years now.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. PAX Prime's been like just a staple
Yeah.
in video game culture. So players should be starting this one up in just a little bit here. But casting, man. I mean, you're casting. You're here on the floor. I gotta ask you, how do you feel? Like, I saw a lot of people that were like, man, I don't know what Clace is going to do. I'm like, Clace is a really eloquent gentleman. He should be fine.
Thank you,
I got
boy.
you, bud. I got you.
I've wanted to try my hand at casting since the beginning of Black Ops 2. I remember the first event for Black Ops 2, UMG Chicago.
Yeah.
I was trying to get in the booth. I was like, please let me cast.
Yeah.
I want to show off my skills. I want to drop some knowledge on people. And I unfortunately have only had the chance to cast one map at PAX last year. It was with Revan.
Yeah.
I think it was just a hard point, just one map.
And that's bad because Revan's terrible.
Yeah, Revan, no.
Yeah,
no. He's a great guy.
That's
He's actually really helping me a lot.
Yeah.
He's giving me advice saying, hey, slow down a little bit, stop like talking so fast.
Yeah.
And so I've been trying to do that. And I'm having fun up here. It's good to have
Yeah.
you up here hanging out with the boys. And
Yeah, it's awesome,
it's
man.
good. It's good because when I'm done playing COD, if I have this in my back pocket, like, hey, I casted PAX East, and all these
Exactly.
people liked it. It's like, so if I want to move into a commentator role, that's available for me.
I think that's a good idea. I tell that to TP all the time as well. I'm like, dude, you have a beautiful voice. Your voice is
The movie announcer
it's
voice.
magical butter. You know what I mean? And you might as well just go into it. I told him that I'm retiring when he comes in because I'm never going to get a gig after that.
Oh.
Like, they're just going to be like, it's TP. He's too beautiful.
You
His
guys should
voice.
check out his
You guys should
YouTube
be good.
video with
Yeah.
that movie announcer voice.
Exactly,
It's
man,
hilarious.
exactly. See, there he is. Oh, that beautiful guy. He's just incredible. So it seems like the game is about to begin here.
Yes,
and
sir.
yeah, no, but I think that's great. I think very awesome to see you and Nate here casting. And like I said, I'm going to listen. I'm not the best, but I'm going to listen and give you my 2 cents. I think it's good. You're surrounding yourself with people who have done this for a while.
Exactly, and in my opinion, you're one of the best.
Oh,
I'll put you in the
too
top
nice.
3.
You're
I'll put
too
you in the
nice.
top 3.
Don't tell that to Pocket. Don't tell that to Revan.
That's between me and you.
They
And
don't
the
like.
street.
Oh, thank you. So nice. So Domination Freight is going to be starting up here in just a second. We're joining the lobby right now. But I guess predictions going into this one. Who do you think? Obviously, I know you want your team to win. So what is the margin that your team wins by?
I'm thinking my team's going to take this with like a solid 40 to 60 point.
Okay.
Advantage. I mean,
Whoa.
they just can't hang with the slaying power. I guarantee you. Watch, it happened on Strike Zone Dom. I said the same thing, and Revan laughed at me. And then it's like, what happened? Saints dropped 40.
Puckett's trying to say slight work, right? Like he thinks it's going to be slight work. All right. So we're going to kick it off here. Who do you want to pick?
Let's start it off with the man Saints himself. He dropped 40 on Strike Zone Domination last time I was up here in the booth casting. Let's see what he's got in himself this game.
All right, so on board with Saints is we're going to get things going, taking a look and seeing what's going on. Oh, seems like we had a issue here. Blame.
Maybe somebody got a little scared.
Yeah, I'm just going to blame Sensor.
They're nervous.
I'm just going to blame Sensor and Aches. I think that's
just always blame Sensor and Aches.
Yeah, I think that's always the best bet to go. Whenever you are in doubt and you don't know what to do, blame Aches.
Blame Aches.
Hashtag blame Aches. It makes a lot of sense. There's no reason why you shouldn't. So we didn't see much out of the breakout there. Like you said, it was going to be pretty standard what they were going to do.
I mean, Saints kind of did a 180 and ran into a box. I don't know what was going on there, but the game ended, so lucky for him.
Quick question though that I want to ask you about. Gandhi and Maven at Champs, they were talking about how SMG's subs are going to be a huge factor in domination period. Do you agree with that mindset? Do you agree that this is a sub game? Like subs are going to thrive more than bringing an AR?
I've kind of been trying. I'm an AR player. I've been an AR player since 2008.
That's why I asked.
I don't want to use a sub. It's like put an AR in my hands, let me slay him from long range. And the game's up again, but I mean, it's the mobility of the sub. It's the way that you can move around quicker, and with no stalker being in this game, no stock of anything where you can't strafe. You're at such a disadvantage all the time, no matter where you're going. And especially on all these maps that we're playing, the only big map is Octane. Maybe Warhawk if you want to make a case for it. But you're playing like Freight or Strike Zone. It's like you want the mobility because that extra second or two of faster moving that means the world in Call of Duty. Call of Duty's like about milliseconds. So if you can shave 2 seconds off your running time, it's going to make a huge impact on the game.
But I've been seeing a lot of players opting to run with Marathon with an AR. I've been seeing that happen quite a bit.
I was experimenting at Champs running a pistol because you can run a little faster with the pistol.
Yeah, I saw you doing that quite a bit.
And it was helping a lot, helped me get to my lanes quicker. But in the end, it's like I could have been doing the same thing with an MTAR. The MTAR, you could snipe people with that thing cross map. There's an AR if you're good enough. But you know, players like Swanee will show you can still use an AR in this. Like when we played him on Freight Domination, he went like 18-5. You know,
Yeah.
so you could still do it if you're set up correctly. But
yeah, and it's all about how the team is going to support you on that
exactly,
too, you know,
exactly.
because this is still a team game at the end of the day. So kicking off the action right now, Domination on Freight. Seems like everything is good. Saints doing actually going a straight beeline over to Fire Alley right now, and he might end up finding at least one player inside of top red, and it seems like, he is going to get picked off. Jumping over to Aches, they do lose 2 players here, Clay. No control on B just yet.
You know, I really like that play from Saints. Unfortunately, he got taken out from the guy up on the balcony, but that move through back red, he almost had him. If he picks that up, and look at this red control. This is exactly what I'm talking about. They got 3 dead. They're hopping on B, 3 on B. This is a capture for the team.
Yeah, and you can actually see they're spawning back C over by the lumber, and they're going to be pushing around right through the Cage Alley, and they're forced to have to run that way, and then they're going to get met by this long-range AR from Aches, and when you put Aches in a position like that, he will make you, but never mind, study. Answering right back. I was going
to
give him some credit, but it seems like they're going to give that one out, and now they're going to begin their push over by red. Very smart play here out of the squad here. The what is it, the Revit team?
The Revit team, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, see, we have 2 ARs on this team. We got JCap and Aches both running an AR, and Complexity is one of the best Freight Domination teams. So it's really exciting to see how JCap and Aches are going to work in tandem and lock down the map with these Remingtons.
All right, and yeah, it's because we just spoke about the fact that ARs are, you want to use it, but subs are a little bit more useful, and it seems as if JCap and Aches are doing good work with this one. JCap moving in, getting the double. That's going to be a good one on Proofy and Sensor
really
on that play.
Heads up play from JCap, getting on that flag and contesting it, making sure the opponents didn't get it, and he caps B, and unfortunately dies, and they're getting back 3 dead. This should be a capture for Study in the squad.
Yeah, and they're actually going to be pushing up aggressive on here, and they will get B control. Look at Proofy, eyes over the crates. If anyone pushes out, he's going to find one. That's going to be a double for him, and there's going to be pressure coming out through that crate alley, but it seems like Team Revit is going to be all over that.
And you know, the aggression unfortunately just spawned him out at C. You see on your mini-map, somebody just spawned out at C because they were being so aggressive, going for that 3 cap. But you know, they're okay. If they win that battle at A, you know, it's a trade-off. You know, it's like you get those extra points, but then you're also losing your home flag. And if he picks this up, this would be a huge kill. But unfortunately now his teammates are spawning on top of him, because that's how the spawning works in Call of Duty Ghost. You spawn in your teammates. It's not about map positioning. It's about, hey, my teammate's here. Why don't I help them out? Spawn them right on you.
Interesting observation. I mean, I know that there's a common misconception that it's always about just, pushing them into spawns, right? But it's interesting to note that that's the way the system works.
And you know, that's new. That's brand new in Call of Duty Ghosts. In every previous Call of Duty, it's all about map positioning and line of sights. And this one, it's kind of not so much. It's kind of like a guessing game, like, hey, where are they going to spawn? And he's in a great position to make a play on B. Unfortunately, gets taken out there with some great shots. And now look, they're cap B back. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's a smoke grenade right there that I was telling you about. It's like they can't see through that.
Yeah.
Who are they going to shoot?
They're getting caught also on the sprint quite a bit as well. Something that I'm noticing. Theory is going to get picked off now. 3 are going to be up here for Team Revit, as Proofy is going to continue to try and put some shots down. Not really going to come with anything on that one. And of course, it seems like you brought up the slang power. You said the slang power was going to be a factor around this other team, and the Nadester team, and it seems like that's going to be the case. And
you can almost see it tells the story of the game with the captures that each of this person on the scoreboard has. You see JCap and Saints with 4 each, and then on the other side, you got Censored Theory, the objective players only having 1 apiece, and it's really showing that they're making moves on B, and they're capping it, and they're defending it well enough.
Yeah, and a good play from JCap there to be able to win B, and now they're going to focus their attention over by the gate alley, but they are going to get shut down. Saints there for the response, finding another one on the left. He will get dropped as well. Now Aches by himself. JCap off the respawn in the back. Aches is going to have to defend B by his lonesome, and he is going to have a lot of work in front of him as 3 players are going to be pincering around him, but his teammates are going to be pushed up toward B, and it's just going to continue to be a battle in this mid area, which is always what you expect from Freight.
And I'm really liking the positioning from the Revit squad. Right now what they're doing, how they're going about getting to B and kind of pincering, like you're saying, getting into white and falling down on everybody. That's what you need to do to capture B, because you just go and hop on it, you're going to get shot off by JCap or Aches, for
now,
sure.
I also see a lot of players, so this is what I'm seeing Saints do here. He's pushing up on Owens. He's hanging out top, 2-story Owens, right? But they're spawning back lumber toward red. They don't have a player there. Is that a viable option to go after as well in case it's just not working out on the red?
You have to be worried about that guy there. You can't hop on B if that guy's still in green, because he can just shoot you right off from green story 2 and the doorway in the bottom. So you always got to be aware and worried about that guy. And so you're having to send somebody over there time and time again, trying to get him out of green. And there's such a favorable advantage inside green building because they're looking at the doorway, waiting on you to come, and there's 4 corners they can be in. So you should win that gun battle most of the times. And I mean, it's really heads-up play by Saints to go ahead and get that locked down.
Yeah, and it seems like they are going to be able to close it out here, but they are losing their A flag, but as time dwindles down, that's not going to matter all that much. It will be a 30-point lead in favor of Team Nadester. Definitely outslaying here. 15-9 for JCap, 15-11 for Miracles. Good performance out of him. I have to say, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's really not bad at all. You got 6 and 14 from Theory, 8 and 15 from Sensor, and that goes back to what I was talking about. You're not going to hang with Saints and Miracles,
when it comes to the slang.
When it comes to slang,
And that's the thing about Freight domination, right? It's just like, I feel like Freight in general, it's just fast-paced, constantly moving, constant gun battles, and it definitely showed there. That's why they ended up winning by a 30-point lead in that first half.
It's a pretty big lead, but Freight's one of those maps you can 3-cap on. If you do it right, you can get a 3-cap, and that 30-point lead, it's like, that's 1 minute of 3-cap is 36 points. So you can get that all back in a minute if you do it right. So, it's going to be an exciting game to see how the resilience of the Revit squad.
Yeah, but of course they're going to be dealing a lot with that, with the slang though. You know what I mean? Again, you have to bring that up. And the fact that Aches was also running an AR too, and it's kind of scary, right? Because he's holding down Red with that. Like,
if you have players using ARs, like 2 players on Freight, you need to be in their face all the time, and they don't have the slaying power to be in their face all the time. So they're just able to sit back, pick up all the kills off B, sit top white, sit top round, and it really just showed that right there, 30 points.
And it's like they know that too. That's the other part about it too. Like, you can definitely tell this unit is very confident when it comes to their slaying ability. On the other side, let's see what the Revit squad is going to be able to accomplish here. They are going to be down by 30 as we begin the second side of Freight domination, which is going to start in just a little bit. Can the Revit squad come back, or just your boys are just too good? You handpicked them.
The boys are pretty good. I'll be unbiased here and say they can make the comeback. I want to see Sensor and Theory really.
That's the first sign of a great caster.
Hey, I want to see Sensor and Theory really step it up. When I was on TK with Theory, these were the times when Theory would go big. On that home flag, you get that clutch 3-piece to beat Envy in the losers bracket. It's like, this is where I expect Theory to go big.
All right, well, you know what? I think it's going to be a safe bet that when we jump into the action, we're going to kick it off with Theory, because I've seen Theory do some incredible things on LAN. So I guess let's go ahead and kick it off with Theory here as the action is going to begin. We're going to make sure we slap on the Oracle mode for you guys so that this way you can see what's going on in the smoke as well, and try and give you guys a good idea of the positioning and what they're trying to do. I like to mix it up. I like to do the Oracle, and I like not to do the Oracle sometimes, because I want people to know, like, hey, if I'm playing this game, where should I be looking, right? Because what Aches and those guys were able to do in that last one, that was picture perfect. That was a great run on that red side.
And there's mixed feelings about the Oracle mode. It kind of ruins some of the suspense of Call of Duty. Like, you're like, oh, the guy is around the corner, go for him. But when you don't know that he's there and the Oracle's off, it makes it a little more exciting. It's not like, oh, I know he's going to get this kill. It's like, oh, is there a person there?
Yeah.
Are they going to be in a good position? But I really like the improvements that Infinity Ward has done with that Oracle mode. We've even used it a little bit to find out some wallbang spots. Like, we'll load it up at the Optic House and be like, oh, if they're in this corner, you can just shoot them through the wall right here and find picture-perfect wallbang spots.
It's like back in the day where you just had to align the arrows on the mini-map and just hope to God that we got it. So I completely understand it, and a very good use of it as well.
Ooh, nice
so, as a matter of fact, great nade out of him. Sensor finding a double on that one. They do have B&A control. Of course, like you said, about 36 points they'll be able to accrue in 1 minute with a trip cap, but it seems like Sensor and the crew are going to focus very much on just continuing to apply pressure in front of Proofy. Unlucky there as he got a lot of hit markers on Aches and did not take him out. Theory pushing up, he gets picked off. Proofy's able to find one, but instead gets met with bullets from Saints, who's on a run.
And see, this is what I was talking about. Sensor's really stepping up big for the team here. 7 kills, and we're not even a minute and a half into the game. That's what he needs to do if he wants to bring this Revit squad back in it. Proofy and Miracle's not having the best games, 1 and 3 apiece, but, when you got players on your team having 5 and 7 kills a minute and a half into the game, there's not too many opportunities for much other kills,
That's very true. That's very true there. And Study actually ended up passing by somebody, but Proofy's going to be on the other side, and if he wins this, he does win the gun battle, but you know what, though? They are going to be able to apply that pressure and force those orange arrows to turn around. Bear in mind, though, there's going to be one player for the for Nade's team, and that was actually going to be Aches trying to cause some problems with Theory going huge, getting it back, but in turn, B is being captured and contested and back and forth, and this is not the position that they want to be in here.
And going for that home flag, really, it plays a lot more advantages than you would think. Like you said, it brings them back, makes them have to worry about you with their home flag, and it gives you a prime opportunity to capture B. Unfortunately, they didn't make it happen. They made some heads-up plays at the B flag, but if he loses that one-on-one on the flag, he jumps down and gets a nice kill right there. Saints getting kind of obliterated, but, that Lumber head glitch is huge. Oh, and he drop shots and gets him. Sensor gets absolutely absolutely destroyed. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was actually a good drop shot around the corner there. Did not expect that at all. Study winning that gun battle inside. That's going to be a win on Ace. Going for it again. He's able to get that one. Now you're going to see this control locking it down. He's going to just continue to lock down red, but there's going to be a player coming from the side, and Study needs to be wary of this. Able to get him with a hip fire. That hip fire is so deadly with that steady aim.
We got Study on a 5-kill streak right now. He's 12-5, not even 3 minutes into the game. Going back to make a play on this home flag. He knows that there's a guy around here. They just got the flag and gets taken out from top round, unfortunately ending his kill streak.
Yeah, that's going to end that run for him. Sensors by himself here for the Revit squad. We'll jump over to the Nadesters crew, see how they're doing in just a little bit. Of course, they're, if you look at the scoreboard, they're struggling here, but they're still up by that 30-point lead. And judging by what we're seeing here, it seems like the Revit squad can come back into this. Theory's going to look in the middle. He's going to find one going right back over for B, and he needs to get this one, but there's going to be pressure from all angles as he's not able to secure that.
And that's what happens on this map. Good play by Proofy being able to pick that up and capping the flag, regardless of Theory dying. But, that's 3 dead right there. And, you should see my squad pick it up right here, make a play on B, get that trip cap. This would be huge this would be game winning if they could get B right now.
Yeah, it actually would be, and it seems like, but again, bear in mind, 1 minute and 21 seconds left on the clock. For the next 20 or so seconds, they really just need to focus on maintaining control in the mid, not allowing them to be able to get a trip cap, and they'll come right back into this game here, but Ake's not able to clutch that one. Jumping over to Miracles, apologies on that for that fast switch, but Miracles finding one, and that's going to lock things down here. The advancement toward B is going to begin. Miracles picked off on the right. And looking here, Ake's going to try and hold things down in the middle, knowing that there's going to be players in the back. Ake's very smartly moving forward. He's going to find his player around the corner, winning that gun battle. A is going to be neutralized, and we are going to have about a 15-point lead here in favor of Revit, but they are down by 15 points total because of that plus 30 in the first half.
And the scoreboard's really telling the story. Look at the capture line. You have 3 total captures for my squad right now. That either means they're playing some really good defense or they're not making enough plays on the flag. On the opposite side, you got 4, 2, 3, 2 caps. They're capturing all of the flags. They're doing what they need to do to win this game, and they can still pull it out. It's not mathematically impossible yet, but it's getting there.
Yeah, and like I said before, around that minute time, I felt like they needed to get in gear and be able to get a trip cap. But you mentioned it's not mathematically. Oh, that was absolutely dirty. And with 15 seconds left on the clock here, Miracles finding one player. That's going to be 2 down here, 2-2 split. As Miracles finding one forward, he's going to be able to take him out alongside with his teammate J-Cap. Actually, that was all J-Cap getting that double. And I believe that's going to lock things down.
My squad knew they just needed to hold that one flag. They were playing some serious defense there. Yeah. Study making a big play, but it wasn't enough. And unfortunately, my team's a little better.
He did what he could. It was a good run there. Study went huge, 18-10 with 4 caps there. On the other side, we didn't see that slaying dominance we saw in the first, but they already established that, right? So it was more or less them being just caught off guard.
Yeah, it's just kind of playing defensively, And look at them giving high fives out there. Study telling him, telling him, hey, remember that kill I had on you at Red? Yeah. That was pretty dirty.
I wonder if Sensor kept in mind when he got melted over by Red with that drop shot. I hope,
it was dirty.
I hope he knows that. Well, it was an absolute pleasure to cast with you, man.
Hey, I appreciate it.
You are definitely, your analysis is spot on. Revan, you watch out. He's coming for your job. He's coming for your job. All right, guys, so we are going to go to a break. When we come back, we are going to have Blitz Warhawk. So that should be a pretty fun one. Yeah, it should be a pretty fun one. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Golden Boy. It's been an absolute pleasure to entertain you guys for this short time. Of course, you guys know who this fine gentleman is. That's Placer. We'll talk to you all later. Have a good one.